So some time ago I was working on the front of Grandpa's Folly. Must have been, gosh, I would say probably about a month ago now these were taken. And they're just a few shots of various different stages of the house. The window frames, I took a couple of the window frames off and got the paint off them. And then this is just where I left it, basically, before starting again, which you're about to see on a video, which would have been a couple of days later. Right, well, I started scraping these windows by hand rather than using paint stripper because of course they're still on the house, and I'm a bit wary at the moment of taking them off because of the blinds being attached to the wood. So I'm going to continue scraping these other windows. Sorry about the light, it's very sunny out here today. It's absolutely beautiful, that's my view. So yep, it's a nice place to scrape. So I'm going to go and get my mask and I'm going to continue scraping. It's now the 25th of June and I thought it's about time I had another look at what is going on with the front of Grandpa's Folly. But I took a few photos of flowers first, so this will lead you into it. Well, it's late June now and things have kind of ground to a halt with the front of the Folly, as I'm a bit of a loss to know what best to do. So I have taken off two of the metal window frames, as I've mentioned before, and I have stripped them back using paint stripper. The problem being is that when I took the window frames off, these little blinds behind the glass, stuck on the wood, not on the glass. So of course the problem is that if you imagine there's a blind on here, it's over here. I can't sand up to the edges. I can't really sand at all safely because the blind would be damaged. So I'm at a bit of a loss to know what's best to do. There wasn't a blind on this window, but there was on this window. It was the worst blind, which is why I took this one off. And yes, it did get damaged in the process. So I have been scraping the paint off these frames. And yeah, there's a long way to go. It's definitely going to be easier to do it without them on the windows. As you can see, it's also on the woodwork. And then the other dilemma I've sort of got is, to get these stripped right back, I'm going to have to basically take this off. And I'm a bit worried about doing that without damaging it. I have sanded back the paint here, but of course I can't do that all the way around without taking it apart, really. Definitely can't sand in here without taking it apart. So I've kind of just ground to a halt because I don't know what to do. There's always a fine line with restoring these houses, well, renovating or restoration. And to be honest, this house, yes, it's got its original windows, but they had been badly overpainted. There was no, as you can see, there's no actual paint underneath them. So what they looked like originally, I don't know. Maybe they were just silver and they weren't black like I thought they might have been. There's definitely no black paint under them. And the green wasn't original because you can tell by the paint up there. So, yeah, what to do for the best? You know, I'd like to retain the blinds as much as I could because they are original. But as I say, this house is not been in good condition. It has been overpainted lots of times. The paintwork is pretty rough. So I've got a choice really, as I just go to it, take everything off and try and save the blinds as best as I can. I mean, I felt pretty sick when I lost the blind from that, or I just, well, I don't know. So that is where I am at the moment. As I say, I've got some of it stripped back to bare wood, which will be perfect for painting. And of course we've got all these cracks in here, so it's all pitted. It's all like little cracks, and yes, it kind of looks a bit like weatherboard, but at the same time it's pretty rough as well, to be honest. So I really don't know, and I'd welcome anybody to give me their ideas on what they might do. You know, I'm not an expert by any means. This is the first house I've really undertaken to restore, and as you know, it's been in quite a state, and it's caused me a few frustrations, although of course Grandpa thinks it's absolutely marvellous, the house. Granny, well, she's still on the fence a bit about it. So yeah, I don't know. So I haven't actually done anything. I've taken the kind of chicken's way out at the moment, and I've come to an impasse of not quite knowing what to do. Anyway, I'll show you the windows, the frames that I have stripped. So this is one of the windows that I stripped with paint stripper. And you could, when I took it off, there was actually a tiny bit of lace stuck underneath it, so that definitely would have been the original lace. So clearly when it was over painted, it wasn't taken off the frame, but there was definitely no black paint on it. It is just bare metal underneath. So yeah, what to do, and I will show you the blind. You can see some of the original lace stuck on this pane of glass, and this is the other frame, and then the blind. Actually, I'll undo that without holding it back in a sec. So this is what's left of the blind. Yes, I could probably try and copy them and make reproductions. Yeah, I'm pretty upset that it broke. And I've had, I mean, the suggestions I had so far are steaming it off, but this paper is so very fragile. I really don't think that's going to work. Soaking off obviously wouldn't work for the same reasons. Trying to put a blade underneath it definitely didn't work, because this is the result. It is just literally very fragile. So I just don't know what to do. As I say, there's a line between when it's restoration and when it's renovation, and I'm beginning to think this is more of a renovation job, because I don't see myself having the talent or the ability to restore it properly, because I really don't know where to start, and it was so far gone from original anyway. So yeah, I would value your ideas. Doesn't mean I'll necessarily follow them, but I certainly will value and listen and read everybody's ideas. So thank you so much for watching this update of Grandpa's Folly and where I'm at the moment. Catch you another time. Bye for now.